What up? Welcome back to the channel. We'll get into these JDM plates in a moment, but in today's video what I want to do, it's currently 50 degrees out, which is really nice for a December New York City day. I want to drive to my cousin's house and see if we can do a complete overhaul on the Cappuccino today. So it's already 12, so we have about 4 hours of daytime left, but I definitely want to put in the new intercooler. This seems like it's 1, 2, 3. I would also love to put in the new headlights and then the new high beams. I got these in Japan. They should fit directly onto the Cappuccino. Another goal of mine would be to install this take-off catch can in the Cappuccino. It's made for the Cappuccino, so it should be pretty, again, 1, 2, 3 to install. I've never done a catch can before, so I'm just driving over there just in case I do something wrong, but I think the instructions are right there and everything I need is right here. So my goal really is just to do those 3 things. If we still have time, I would also love to see if we can fit this in the Capp. I don't think it's gonna fit. It's not made for the Cappuccino. It's made for whatever this car is. I forgot the model. Oh look, it's for a Daihatsu, one of these. So it's not made for the Cappuccino, but we're gonna see. It looks like it'd be able to fit based off the way it's shaped, so that'll be a huge W if I can somehow put this Daihatsu intake into my Cappuccino. And then lastly, and this would just be the icing on the cake, if I'm able to do the shifter rebuild kit also, all in this one video. So if you want a Cappuccino, this is the video for you. I think this isn't too hard because I did it on the Jimny and it took maybe 30 minutes. The hardest part is really just uninstalling the interior, then putting it back in. This doesn't look like it's going to be too difficult, although the locations to change these out do look a little annoying. This I know is going to be 1, 2, 3. This again I think is going to be 1, 2, 3, especially with his help. And then this is either going to be, it either fits or it doesn't. So that's kind of my goal for today, just to do a complete overhaul on the Capp. And then this is the trunk carpet. That again should be pretty straightforward. I'm not really too focused on showing that. And seeing how it's so nice out, I figured what other way to drive the Cappuccino than honestly my first time ever having the T-top, the top down, the roadster, anything. So I'm gonna just take off these two. I'm not gonna take off this one. It's not really necessary, but I'm gonna drive like this for the first time. Pretty excited. I even have the bags here, which I've never really used before. I'm not even sure how it fits in the trunk. I tried to do it for a couple minutes and it was a fail. So I guess I'm just gonna drive like this and hopefully they don't tip over while I'm driving. Alright, so we just got to my cousin's house. I'm starting to loosen up everything. To take off the intercooler, you have these 2 10s. And then you also have your intercooler hoses. These are 8s, some of them are 10s. I guess it depends on the car you have. And then I have to take off this one, definitely a 10. If anybody wants this, definitely hit me up. And now that the intercooler is gone, I figured I'd just take off all the piping. I think I'm just gonna do a complete deep clean. I'll spray the throttle body, get that a little nicer. Maybe even take out the spark plugs and give them a clean or swap after I spray a lot of gunk in there. And then I'm just gonna take this off, see if we're able to get lucky with that Daihatsu intake. This looks like a 10. And then there's another clamp here. Bye rip intake. An extremely dirty, whoa, apexy. Update, so not much has changed, just a lot of mocking up and seeing where everything goes. I removed the headlights, that wasn't too hard. There's just a 10 mil here, a 10 mil I think under there, and then one more 10 mil right there. Also just mocking up the catch can. From the looks of it, it looks pretty straightforward. I got it from the company Takeoff and it's Suzuki Cappuccino specific. I used Google Translate just to see exactly what I had to do, but from the looks of it, it's about 6 steps. Step 1, as you can see, is just removing this. That initially was like that, turning it that way, adding this little connector that comes with the kit, and then the 2 hoses, which I was assuming look like this, but they gave me these thin black hoses that my cousin said might not be the best, that over time, maybe the heat and stress, they might rip, so I gotta keep an eye on that. I might have to get something thicker like these. Like this one is a nice hard hose. This one is not the best, honestly. And then that's pretty much it. You put this in, this is gonna go like that. I just need to cut it, that way it looks nice and flush. And I'll mock all this in once I'm done with the headlights because they have to go back in. Now, when it comes to the headlights, I was told that H3 type headlights are pretty hard to find in America. So I was over there in Japan and I figured I'd just buy them, and they look like this. So when I first got this out the box, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely made a mistake. I don't know what this is. I've never seen headlight bulbs like this. But apparently my cousin said it's pretty straightforward. So I already changed this one. I'll show you guys the difference. And then this is how it looks stock. So basically what you would do is kind of treat it like any headlight. I could just loosen this one up again to show you guys. It looks like that. It'll go straight back in, get it nice and flush. Lock it back into place, and then it has a ground and a positive. Now if we walk over to the stock setup, we do the same thing. Remove this here. Here's how the headlight looks. It's connected to this ground. That's a black wire. And then the positive is there. We're just gonna remove this, grab our new headlight. That's gonna go in here. And now we're gonna take the red, which is this guy right here, the positive. We're gonna connect it to this red in here, and then grab the ground, which is this black wire, and connect it into this. Ta-da! Let me just grab the pliers and tighten down that ground. Now that that's done, I should be able to just lock it back into place. Same for this guy. That's good. So now that that's done, technically I have LED headlights and I'm good. My next project is with these H1 bulbs. So this is a whole nother mission in itself. Basically what I would have to do for this to work, and I'm still debating if I really want to do it or not, but I have to take this. This is how the OEM style looks. It has this bulb in here like that, and it just fits in there. I would have to drill this out completely. That way I'll be able to fit this into the car directly, which we already tested out. And it does make a difference. I just don't know if I want to go through all that, because technically whoever got the car next would not be able to have OEM headlights if they wanted to go that route. And I'll show you guys what I mean. So this is what it looks like with the LED high beams. I'm gonna grab the headlights too, just so I can mock those in. Let's turn this on. Ta-da! LED headlights, looking nice and clean. And then we'll put the high beams on. And basically I would either have this set up or this setup. And honestly, this looks pretty ugly, but realistically, the way I'm looking at it is, when am I ever really gonna have my high beams on? When's the last time you've turned your high beams on? It's not really likely, but this does look ugly, so I guess I'm gonna drill it out. We'll do some DIY. Another project is with the intake. We've kind of figured out a way where it could work, kinda, not really. So as you can see, it fits, kinda. I wouldn't be able to have the filter here, it would be too high, but size-wise and everything, it looks about right. So what we were thinking is grabbing this little elbow that was originally there, putting it there, and then doing some type of cutting here to make it a bit shorter. We're not sure. This is on the fence, but I do have to do something as far as this cut and vacuum leak goes, because I don't want to drive like that for too long. So I guess what I'm gonna do now is get the drill, try to figure that out. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long. Update, good news. I found a much easier way to do it. So I'm just gonna do it like this. No drilling, no cutting. Now I have LEDs on both sides. Pretty excited about that. Next thing to attack is that the signal does not work. I think I'm just getting like some bad ground and some bad connection. So I believe I'm just gonna unplug both of these, cut them up, re-splice them in, see if that works. And then project intake, unfortunately I don't think it's gonna work, but we're gonna cut it from here and see if it goes in. But I don't have a tube. We're gonna use this, like this cup right here, since it's like a perfect little L, and it goes over on that side, but this is just too small and too tight. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to put this one back in, which looks like it's a good brand. It looks like it's good. I just gotta get a new one of these somewhere. But it's currently raining right now, which is pretty terrible. I'm gonna see if I can get this done ASAP. So let me button all this up before it gets darker and the rain gets worse. Intercooler pipes back in, intake with a huge gash back in. Now we're gonna put the intercooler in. This should be pretty straightforward. So this is a bit harder than I expected. So you can see here we're kind of center. Here we're not too bad. But here, not only is there a huge height difference, but it doesn't look like that's gonna fit in perfectly. But yeah, I think this is gonna take a bit longer than expected. This I thought would be the easiest thing. This and the catch can. But the catch can is basically on. The only thing left to do here is really just to cut this, put a clamp, put it in there, and then boom. Put this in exactly where the headlights are, and then that's all said and done. We gotta get the intercooler on though. That is, like, how do I did a lot of things today, but that has to get done. Are you kidding me? LED turn signals installed. The intercooler is just gonna have to sit like this. Maybe I'll find a solution later, but this is definitely not happening. That is definitely not happening, and it fits perfectly fine there. I put the intercooler hoses on and off about 3 times just to make sure I don't have any leaks, and as of right now, it's not perfect, the fact that that's not there, but as long as this one is there, that's kind of all that matters. Last thing now to do is just to cut this hose, and then we'll be done with the catch can. And then from there, I'll put the headlights back in, and then we'll have LED headlights and high beams, which I'm pretty excited about. And then I think one more thing before we do that is I just want to reinforce my bumper a bit more. You can see there's nothing there. And then I have some areas around here that could use some extra support. Same for over there. All I have is this one little bolt. I don't love that. So I'm going to see if I can just get this nice and sturdy, because you guys know I'm going to go on another road trip. I don't know where just yet, but I'm preparing all this so I can drive it, I don't know, maybe to Miami or something soon. Now let's grab the dikes. I'm going to cut it around right here. That way it could be flush. I'm going to have some zip ties, hold it all together along the entire lines. Now that is nice and pretty. Time to lock everything in, and then we'll be done with the catch can. I don't even know if the video is really doing it justice. Like, wow. I don't know if you guys have seen the theme yet. When it comes to headlights, especially a car like this where most people can't even see you just height-wise, I'm very happy with my LED headlights and high beams. I'm happy I didn't do the cheap way out. So I think this is as far as we're gonna go in this video. New intercooler, catch can installed. We got the LED headlights and high beams. My turn signals work. I still need to fix the opposite side of that. This one doesn't work, which is pretty unfortunate. Little things like that drive me insane. But I think in tomorrow's video, what I'll do is just install the trunk carpet. I'm going to search for a radio. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy one yet, but I hate the radio setup I currently have in this car. It's one of those cheap Boss radios that just aren't the best. And then I also want to look into getting a quick release and an energy short hub, because honestly, as much as I joke around about the bucket seat and like say it's the worst seat ever, it's actually pretty comfortable. It's just this, the fact that this comes out so much, and I know I can do this and make it come off every time, but that's just not ideal. Like, I don't want to do that over and over, and it's just an extension. Like, it doesn't need to be there like that. It's not the setup I want. But yeah, I'll end this video here. In my opinion, a very successful Cappuccino build. This was really just day one of building the Cappuccino. We still have, like I said, a lot of things that I need to get done for this car to be mine. As of right now, I still feel like it's JDM Hawaii's Cappuccino that I'm just making better. But we gotta change these rims. We gotta put some 3 spokes on there. Definitely figure something out with this interior. Change the radio. Add WayBeforeTheFame right there. I already have a good idea of how I'm gonna do that. But all right, catch you guys on the next one. It's raining, as you can see. It's dark. I've been here for hours. Peace out.
Remember the name. This is WayBeforeTheFame.